Hey, thanks, Matt, and welcome to our family. It's good to be here. This morning, I just want to briefly talk to you about being prepared and what that looks like. So let's suppose that today you get to go grocery shopping. Hey, how are you going to be prepared when you leave your house? So you're probably going to grab your wallet, right? You need your wallet. And you're going to grab your keys to drive your car. And you're probably going to grab your mask and your gloves because these are the days that we're living in, right? We need those things. And you're also going to grab your phone because you probably need your phone in case you have to call somebody, right? So now you are prepared to go out. So the Bible tells us that as Christians, we need to be prepared when we need to share the good news of Jesus Christ. And actually, it's not just good news, but it's the greatest news that anybody could hear. And that is that God saves us when we put faith and trust Jesus Christ alone for our eternal life. So, how are we prepared? What does that look like? I'm going to share with you my favorite Bible verses. It's 1 Peter 3:15, and I'm going to read it from the NASB, and it goes like this. But sanctify Christ as Lord in your heart, always being ready to make a defense to everyone who asks you to give an account for the hope that you have that is in you, yet with gentleness and reverence. All right, so the first part of that says, sanctify Christ as Lord in your heart. So what does that mean? That means we want to set Christ apart. We want to make sure that he is first in our life every morning when we wake up. We make him first. Sanctify Christ. The second part says, always ready to make defense. Now, the King James says that is to give an answer to everyone who asks you. And that answer is your testimony. How Jesus Christ has changed your life. It's your testimony. It's your story. And your testimony needs to be short. So it's like 1 minute long. And your testimony also needs to be like salt on your tongue. That is, it needs to make people thirsty to hear more of the gospel, more of the good news. So the other day, my aunt asked me, Toni, is this the end of the world? Is this what the Bible has been talking about? Are you afraid? And I told her, you know what? I don't really know if it's the end of the world. I don't know that. But here's what I do know. I do know that no matter what happens to me, I know for sure that I'm going to be with God forever. And that gives me hope. Here's how I know. Growing up, I always had an emptiness inside me that I couldn't fill. I was always searching hard to fill that emptiness. And I tried to fill it with things of the world, things that weren't good for me, but I never could fill it. I was always left with an emptiness. I was searching for happiness and I could never find it. But then one day, somebody shared with me the gift of eternal life, and it totally changed my life forever. I was a different person from that moment on. And it was because I knew who Jesus was. And I would love to share with you more how I know that. Would it be okay if I shared with you more? And then I was able to actually talk to my aunt and share a little bit more about the gospel. So every Christian needs to be able to share their testimony at a moment's notice. You have a story. You have a story that God has given you to share. You need to be prepared to share it. So the last part of that verse says, do it with gentleness and reverence. And to me, that means with a love for the lost. People need to hear the gospel, and we have it, and we need to share it with the lost. We need to love them, not Bible thumping, but from a heart of love. So I encourage you to take time to write out your testimony, practice it, rehearse it, so that when somebody asks you, you be ready at a moment's notice to share the good news. So as I close, I want to share with you a quote that I heard from a guy named Penn Jillette. He is the second half of the duo Penn Teller. They were illusionists. But anyway, he's a staunch atheist. And here's what he said. How much do you have to hate someone to believe that everlasting life is possible, but you're sharing it with them? That one really got me. So let's be prepared. Tomorrow, there's going to be some online training for evangelism through Reaching the World with ABQ. And I think Frances Chan is going to be on it. You can find it on our social. So I encourage you to hop on, take a look, know your story, be prepared to share your story. Don't leave without it. That's all.